Welcome back to Transform with yours truly, Dr. Alvin Jorge. And we are here for our second episode. And again, this is a space where we talk openly about gender-affirming surgery, transition journeys, and the real-life experiences of the trans community. And today, I am very lucky to be joined by Nick, a trans man who's about to take a big step in his journey. And he's actually preparing for top surgery. Yes. Actually, very lucky tayo ngayon because he is a celebrity in his own right. Very famous ito in the trans community. And today, he's here to share his experiences leading up to this moment, from discovering his identity to making the decision to undergo surgery. So again, Nick, maraming salamat for joining us today. And maybe just for a starter, can you give us a little background on who Nick is?
Thank you again. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm really happy to be here. I'm Nick. I'm 31 years old. I was a former contestant of That's My Tomboy Season 1 back when I identify as a lesbian, or I wasn't really exposed to trans community. So, disclaimer. And yeah, and now, isa naman akong trans advocate and a fitness instructor, specifically for queer people. Yeah.
Okay, so kaya pala medyo nangliliit ang aking katawan dahil fitness instructor ang ating panauhin ngayong episode na ito. So, anyway, I know you've undergone this long transition, but I guess everyone starts somewhere. Now, can you tell me something about yung first time? Kailan mo ba naramdaman that your body did not really match? Or how did you see yourself before?
I mean, I think almost everyone started cross-dressing. Ako kasi, di talaga ako, before, di ako accepted ng parents ko. So, yan, patago akong nag-sneak in ako sa room ng parents ko, magta-try out ako ng clothes ng dad ko.
Mga ilang taong ka nito, Nick?
Elementary.
Elementary, okay.
Elementary. Pero, ang pinaka-fresh na, ang pinaka-oldest memory na naalala ko, 3 years old, is I already have my choices na kung ano yung gusto ko. It's just how the society makes, I mean, kung ano di-dictate ng society na, hindi, babae ka, ganyan. Siguro kung hindi sa akin di-dictate yun, alam ko my whole life na male ako.
And probably during your time, hindi pa ganun ka defined or wala pa tayong
wala
male and female lang.
Especially sa Saudi Arabia kasi.
Yes.
Kasi I was born there, born and raised. Yeah.
Ayun nga kasi alam ko sa Saudi Arabia medyo mahigpit dyan. Hindi ka pwedeng pumosisyon sa gitna. Kailangan either male or female lang. So, how did this transition happen during that time?
Nung nasa Saudi po ako, hindi pa talaga ako totally nag-transition socially. Pero I guess nag-hold back lang talaga sa akin that time was, yun nga, parang takot ako ma-disappoint yung mom ko. So, nung nag-migrate na siya sa US, doon ako nag-start na papaiksi na ng buhok, nag-bind ako ng chest, pero yung gamit ko, girdle.
Oh, okay.
Which is wrong way to bind the chest. Diba?
Yeah, so I guess napakahirap nung transition mo, especially if the family, I mean, your parents were not, on board with your transition. Yeah. And nabanggit mo na, I know that you joined yung That's My Tomboy.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that you also joined the beauty pageant. Pwede ba ikwento sa amin ano nangyari dito? At what age was this?
I think 14 to 15. Actually, di lang pageant. Okay. Pati mga muse, ganun. Lagi akong isinasabak ng nanay ko. I think in denial lang siya na di talaga kasi yun yung gusto ko. Pero maybe, napasaya ko naman siya that time.
Maybe she was fighting this something that maybe she already knew.
Yeah, she probably knew.
But probably tried to push you away from it. That's why pinasali ka ng mga beauty pageant. And yung pinakita niya sa akin mga pictures ni Nick noon, grabe.
Pero ang tigas ng sabi nila, ba't ang tigas mo?
Okay. So, anyway, I guess yung transition mo during that time when you were in Saudi, it was very difficult because until what age did you stay in?
15.
15. This
After high school.
was okay. So after high school, you went now to the Philippines.
Opo.
No? So how was the experience? Yung pag-transfer mo to the Philippines?
Medyo biglaan po kasi yung alis namin sa Jeddah. Actually, sa Jeddah, Saudi Arabia kami.
Aha.
Biglaan yung alis namin. So, very, culture shock talaga ako. Tapos sa Taft pa ako tumira kasi binild ako ng school.
I see. And how were you accepted by the
Okay
society?
naman. Medyo complicated. Mga nakakasama ko that time, puro mga taga-Saudi din.
I see.
May mga naging friends ako sa school pero hindi medyo naging maganda yung... I think it was because the way I dressed.
Okay. And,
Pero mga queer din yung iba dun eh.
talaga?
Yeah, it's
So,
medyo disappointing.
you mean you were bullied during your college life? So, and ang nagbubully sa'yo, mga trans men din?
Ay, hindi naman. Ang
okay.
mga, I think, mask sila. Hindi ko sure. Wala
hindi
naman
mga
ako-
out, ano?
And out po. Parang nag-masculine magdamit.
I see.
Kinalimutan ko na sila.
So siguro yung paglipat mo from Saudi Arabia going to the Philippines, that
Medyo
was
drastic.
that time when I guess you were able to explore yourself.
Ay, yeah,
Now
of
you are
course.
now able to dress as
Yeah.
how you feel.
Yes.
And how was this experience?
Okay naman. Nakaka-ano rin na parang everyone can be themselves dito sa Pinas. I mean, kahit sabihin natin na nung time na yun, hindi pa totally accepted yung queer. Marami pa rin out talaga.
Anong mga changes ang ginawa mo nun? I mean, sa bihes, that was the first time that you dressed as a man?
Hindi naman, bata pa lang po ako, may pictures na rin ako na nagtatalo kasi kami lagi ng mom ko
Okay.
sa damit. So, minsan wala talaga siyang magawa.
Mhm.
So, may mga photos din ako ng bata ako na talagang masasabi mong guide.
Oh, okay. Now, I guess, pagdating mo ng college, your body has evolved and somehow meron ka na rin kailangang itago dito. Did you ever wear binders, chest padding?
Yeah, po. Yun po, nag-start ako with girdle nung nasa Saudi
Girdle.
pa ako.
Oo.
Kasi yun lang po yung meron dun na alam kong pwedeng pang-ipit.
Pero yung boses mo medyo mababa na. Ganyan na ba yan ever
Ay, hindi
since?
po. Bumaba na lang po siya sa testosterone.
Okay.
Pero wait lang. May iniisip ako ikukwento. Ayun, nung high school din kasi, na-feel ko na parang di talaga ito yung body ko kasi nga lahat ng tao, medyo maaga nag-develop eh. Medyo maaga nag-hit yung puberty ko. I think mga grade 6 medyo nag-develop na yung chest. So yung mga tao, sexy, ganyan.
Nako. Parang pinandirian mo pa siguro.
Nandidiri ako. Sexy, tapos may dami nanliligaw. Parang,
Ang compliment sa'yo parang nagiging...
Nag-ick. May ick siya sa akin. Tapos, yung pinaka ayoko, is yung tinatawag nila akong Joga Queen. I think nasa cup B? 36, 34B.
I mean, that age 14, may B cup size ka na.
Yeah, kaya ayun. Kaya nag-bind ako the minute na umalis yung mom ko.
So imagine yung male thinking mo, tapos sasabihan ka ng ganon na Joga Queen. Naku,
parang parusa sa
parusa
akin.
talaga. Parusa. And I guess mahirap during your transition, especially when you went here. Yun na lang yung paglipat ng sa ibang bansa. More so transitioning as a male, that is also a challenge. And who were your early supporters or mentors dito? I guess mayroong mga tumulong din naman sa'yo.
Nag-join po ako sa Pioneer FTM. Hindi ko po sure if you're familiar. I think you're familiar. Yeah, nag-join ako doon. Tapos wala naman kasi, free lang naman mag-join doon. So lahat ng tao doon nag-share ng journey nila. And nung time na before ako mag-transition, marami na rin pong mga vloggers na pero halos puro mga foreigner na trans vloggers.
I see. But knowing that, I mean, nung bata ka, hindi mo alam na merong ganun klase, di ba? But now, you went to this support group, na-realize mo na hindi lang pala ikaw nag-iisa.
Opo.
No? Parang there was this sense of community, I guess. So, nakatulong ba itong community?
Opo. Kasi nag-join ako sa That's My Tomboy.
Aha.
I mean, sobrang grateful ako dun. Pero like, may part sa akin na parang hindi pa rin ako belong sa group na to, gano'n. Pero may mga friends ako na nagta-transition na sila ngayon. Di rin kasi sila aware that time. Di pa talaga exposed yung mga trans men. To be specific, di pa talaga sila masyadong exposed. Compared ngayon, na marami nang out.
Actually, oo. And for those who are not familiar, yung That's My Tomboy is an episode or segment in Showtime. That features yung mga gwapong mga trans men natin.
It was
no?
the first season pa. So mga 2013, 19 years old pa po ako na.
And sabi mo nga na this was your way of coming out. In grande naman, boss. Parang ibang klase
Tikit mata na lang.
on television pa natin
Tikit
ginawa.
mata po ako sumali. Pero it was my first time na na-expose ako sa queer.
And what was the feeling nung nag-out ka doon?
Mas na-culture
TV
siya.
pa?
Kasi mas na-culture siya ka. Wala po kasi talaga akong queer friends. Na halos lahat ng friends ko. Yung mundo ko before was sayaw lang, K-pop, na yung mga sinaunang K-pop pa.
Pero ano yung naramdaman mo nung nag-out ka na?
Masarap po. Kasi before ako nag-join, sabi ng mom, may nag-spill kasi sa mom ko. Wala namang balak sabihin. So may pinsan ako na nag-spill. So sabi niya lang, sige, bahala ka. Bahala ka na sa buhay mo. Sabi niya. Pero nung nakita niya yung out ka, nung after ko mag-join, nung napanood niya na parang daming natuwa, na daming naka-appreciate, tapos yun, sabi niya, I'm proud of you, ganon. Nagbago na yung ihip ng hangin.
Okay, so at least, from against it, now joining.
Opo.
Pero, matanong ko lang, why did you join? Yung That's My Tomboy?
Para lang talaga mag-out.
Okay.
Wala talaga akong ibang intention, like magpasikat or what. Gusto ko lang talaga mag-out kasi yung mga relatives ko din, lagi silang tatanong, ano ba, tomboy ka ba? Ganyan.
Ito na official na. Lumabas na ako sa TV, mga kababayan. So, it's out. I'm a guy.
Pero yun lang, yung at least mas chill na ako ngayon. Wala nang tinatago. Ang medyo exhausting lang na kailangan nag-out ka na as as a lesbian nung time na yun, tapos mag-out ka ulit as trans.
Okay. So there's a difference. Okay, so can you kindly explain to the audience? Kasi baka yung iba, alam mo, I meet a lot of friends na, oy, may kilala akong tomboy, pa-refer ko sa'yo para operahan. Oy, may kilala akong bakla, refer ko sa'yo para operahan. And they don't know the difference between those things. So, maybe you can explain to them kung ano yung diferensya ba nung ano.
So, I mean, dun pa lang sa LGBT, na yung trans, yung is hiwalay dun sa lesbian and gay. So, yung lesbian and gay is basically sexual orientation, and trans men and trans women is nag-fall sa gender identity. So let's say trans men can also be gay or bisexual kasi nga magkaiba yung gender identity and yung sexual orientation.
Ayun. So hindi ibig sabihin kung lesbian, kung bakla ay magpapa-opera na yun. So there's a big difference. No? As mentioned, sexual orientation from gender identity. Gender identity. So anyway, going now to medical transition. Now, I know you're interested in having surgery done eventually, but there is also this thing called medical transition.
Yes.
So, I guess you started testosterone already, and kailan ka nag-umpisa nito, and what led you to making that decision? No? Kailangan ko na ngayon
magpa-hormone. Actually, turning 9 years na. next year,
9
next
years.
January.
Okay, all right.
Nag-start ako January 2017. Nag-consult ako. Kay ano pa ako dati? Kay Doktora Montano.
Montano, yes.
Apo.
Oo, si Doktora.
Tapos, yun, I'm good to go na. Nag-start na ako. That time, may partner pa ako na ayaw.
Ayaw ko mag-hormones.
Well, obviously, ex ko na siya. Ayaw niya ako mag-hormones.
Okay.
So, kilala mo to. So, ayun. I think kasi yung sexual orientation niya talaga is lesbian.
Okay.
She's a femme. So, against talaga siya. So, nag-take na akong testosterone walang paalam. Kahit kanino.
Okay.
Actually, sa mga friends ko lang na kahit actually, yung mga friends ko kasi tsaka family parang okay na yan, mukha ka ng lalaki, okay na yan. Pero it's not about the way I look. Like, it's what I feel about myself.
Look and feel. Yeah. And I was about to ask ko ano ba yung mga changes na na-notice mo after starting this gender-affirming hormone treatment. Ano yung mga nakita mong changes? Physically and I guess emotionally, meron ba?
For me, kasi yun nga, transition is not linear. So, compared sa iba, medyo mas mabagal yung facial hair ko. Pero ang unang nagbago is yung boses. Nag-drop talaga.
Okay.
Parang ang bigat ng throat ko. Tuyong-tuyo yung throat ko lagi. Tapos, period. Yung period. Siguro 3 months nag-stop.
Okay.
Wala na in 3 months. Then, yung sex drive, yung hormones.
Yes.
It's para kang nagbibinata talaga. Yung appetite. Yan, yung kain.
Okay.
Ang lakas talaga ng kain. Nagbibinata lang talaga. Parang puberty 2.0.
Wow. Okay. Ang ganda ng feeling nun. Now, may sinabi sa akin si Bam, who was our previous guest, na parang may emotional changes ka raw na nararamdaman. Anong mga nararamdaman?
Mahirap siya. Medyo mahirap din talaga siya mentally. May mga... Since nag-a-advocate ako, nag-public figure ako sa social media, may mga lumalapit sa akin na tinatanong if normal ba na ganito, na yung mental health nila medyo nagdi-decline or ano. Kasi nga, din siya, hormones. So, yung utak mo din medyo...
So, nung nag-hormones ka, ano yung mga changes na mental, emotional, ano yung mga changes na...
Medyo mainitin ulo. Mainitin talaga ulo. Tapos medyo may mga mental, mga anxiety,
I see.
depression. Pero, yun din yung naririnig ko sa iba.
And how were you able to manage that?
Paano ko ba na-manage that?
Nag-stable din ba after some time? Or was it just the first few months of...
Siguro first 2 years.
2 years?
First 2 years. So, medyo talaga. Kasi nga hindi pa stable yung hormones.
So, that's why it's important na guided ka on proper hormone treatment para at least alam mo yung mga stages that you have to go through na hindi siya simple as taking the hormone and that's it. No? So, in terms of confidence naman, did it boost your confidence?
Oo naman po. Siguro nag-hinder lang talaga is chest ko. Pero so far, through my whole journey naman, parang iniisip ko na lang, siguro kaya hindi pa ako nakapag-surgery para ma-inspire ko din yung mga hindi pa makapag-top surgery din na hindi nyo kailangan maghintay na mag-surgery para mag-build ng physique nyo. Maganda na before kayo mag-surgery, makapag-build na ng physique, especially sa chest. Kasi mas pabor sa inyo na buo na yung pectoral muscles.
Especially with the procedure that I perform, I do the top surgery, and one of the techniques that I perform ay tinatawag na Ironman top surgery. This is a modification of the double incision mastectomy na ginagawa natin. Wherein instead of having a long horizontal line here, we try to follow the chest muscle para pag nag-heal siya, natatago natin along the border of the muscle. And gaya na nga na sinabi mo, and I think we talked about this during our consultation many years ago, na it helps to have your chest muscles develop, although not necessary, na that will help us form the surgery, kung saan ang incision natin, and how we'll be able to form it pagka kino-close na rin natin siya.
Tsaka yung pagpwesto po ng nipple.
Pagpwesto ng nipple areolar complex. Now, we've actually had some measurements done. We made a study with our training doctors. Kaya ngayon medyo mas consistent na yung ano.
Tsaka sabi nyo, mas dun kayo na OOC.
Ay, oo. Kasi if you take a look at the internet, makikita mo sa internet na ang dami mga gawang top surgery, and you'll notice that yung placement ng nipple areolar complex is very crucial. Pumasok lang ng konti sa gitna, alam mong ginawa na eh. Bumanlag na ganun, halata rin. Di lalo na kung hindi pa pantay na ganun. So, I mean, those things are realities in the surgery that even if I've done yung mga multiple surgeries, I still explain to my patient na posible pa rin mangyari yun. I'm not perfect. But I do try my 101%. And so far naman, okay naman tayo. No? So, I'm glad. But anyway, gaya nga nung sabi mo, hindi ka pa na-opera, and this poses a challenge, and hopefully you can inspire them. But challenges, let's talk about that. You're a fitness instructor, and you are the founder of Diverse Fitness. No? May mga
Kasi hindi pa na-start yung Diverse namin. So, pero soon, ano na lang sa
abangan nyo ang Diverse Fitness by Nick. No?
Ano po siya, at leisure, na since medyo nag-struggle lang trans community sa pagpili ng clothes. I mean, especially kung lalo na sa gym, if maganda yung suot mo, if you feel good about what you wear, di mas masarap mag-workout.
Correct.
Mas ganado. So,
okay.
So, yung tailored, parang specifically tailored. Magkakaroon ng specifically tailored for trans men and trans women. Pero ikikater pa rin namin lahat.
Which is very important. Napakahirap maghanap. No?
Sa hips, sa sa chest.
Mahirap maghanap.
Pero in that way, makikater din namin yung mga guys, cis men na malaki yung hips, tsaka may gyno. And yung sa women naman is yung leggings na medyo matatago yung...
very nice. And that's a niche market that really needs these products, no?
Problem solving ano siya.
Maski ako after surgery, I look for for the binders eh. And that's usually a challenge also for me. Now, as a fitness instructor naman, may mga challenges ba? Working in the gym, I mean, how are your clients taking it, and also your workmates?
Actually, sa clients wala akong problema po. Mas pag kasi dun sa dati kong work sa gym, puro lalaki talaga yung coaches. So, pag yung mga babae, laging, wala ba kayong babae, ganyan. Doon ako mag-aano na I'm trans ako, ganon. Para lang ma-feel safe yung babae. I don't know, it's...
So pag sinamo trans ka, sa babae, okay?
Okay sila. Mas natutuwa din sila na parang nagiging interested sila and thankfully na hindi offensive way yung pagiging curious nila. Mas nagiging close din kami.
So may advantages pala, no?
I think so. Na parang mas feel nilang safe sila.
Correct.
Pero yung may times lang na it's always up to me kung i-out ko yung sarili ko. Kahit public figure, kahit out ako sa social media, in real life, it's always up to me kung mag-out ako, kung sasabihin kong trans ako. So there's this one time na parang may naghahanap ng babaeng coach, tapos nung in-introduce ako, sabi, akala ko babae. Sabi ko, ba't mo sinabing trans ako? Sabi ko, ako magsasabi. Sabi ko dun sa isang consultant.
Yes.
So parang na-cross yung boundaries ko nun.
Anong sabi nung consultant?
Wala. Hindi wala siya nasabi. Hindi niya, kasi yun nga, sa Laguna din ako, so I think hindi masyadong exposed talaga yung mga tao pagdating sa, especially with trans men.
Well, I guess that's people are also, I think, transitioning and recognizing where their boundaries are. So, yung mga ganung bagay, kailangan nire-respeto rin nila yung boundaries mo. And it should be given to you. On how you make that decision on whether to tell your client or not who you really are. So, ano yun, no? So, I know celebrity ka in your own right.
Hindi naman.
Marami nagpa-follow sa iyo. Actually, yung aking mga kakilala, sinusundan ka matagal na, no? But and I guess yung mga endorsements and everything, they all come in with the business of being a celebrity. Now, has this ever being a trans man, has this ever been a problem to you when you're doing endorsements or at least auditioning for endorsements?
Mostly auditioning lang naman po. Actually, yung iba pa po yung Avon. Where yung first experience ko was nung nasa modeling agency. Parang may see-through na damit. Tapos parang nung nalaman niyang hindi ako makapaghubad, hindi na niya ako pinarampa dun sa isang part ng set ng clothes na
Okay.
ng fashion show. Parang yun yung first experience ko. Tapos yung second is yung sa Avon. Ay, sorry.
Avon.
Hindi naman yan. Sorry. Yun nga na parang bakit ka hindi nakahubad? Sabi ko, trans po kasi ako. Sabi niya, okay. Tapos yun. Then, parang naano ko na hindi ako trans enough dahil hindi ako makapag topless, ganun. Parang lagi akong nakasando lang.
So yung sa audition mo doon sa endorsement, you're not man enough.
Trans enough, I think. Kasi naghahanap sila ng queer people.
Okay. And since you're pre-op, ganun ba?
Yeah,
that's the reason why they turned you down.
I'm not sure, pero I feel like it was
a big factor.
Yeah, it was a big factor.
Somehow, yung complete transition becomes important in these things. I see.
Tsaka, basta sabi ko rin sarili ko, basta hindi ako mamamatay nang hindi pa ako nakakapag bodybuilding competition. Kahit once in my life lang.
Okay. Yan ang ating
goal.
Okay. Bucket list.
Bucket list.
So, kailangan natin mag-join in. Kailangan makumpleto na natin ikaw para makasali na tayo dyan.
Okay.
Now, as you mentioned, you're doing hormones now. Was there ever a problem for you to access hormones, especially in the Philippines wherein...
Hindi naman na po ngayon. Sa ngayon, especially now, it's a lot easier than before. Especially yung mga before, ay siguro sila before mas mahirap yung time nila. Pero ngayon po kasi ang dami na rin pong clinic na nag-o-offer ng GAT. I think PGH din. Nag-o-offer na sila ng GAT. Yeah. So
actually, it is slowly becoming recognized, and to tell you the truth, yung may mga HMOs have covered gender-affirming surgeries already.
Yeah.
Like, although in a different manner, they have to do it through reimbursement.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's being covered, hindi man 100%, no, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And it's a start. And I think a lot of the HMOs are following suit.
Nabibigyan pansin na yung gender-affirming
and that's because I
healthcare.
think yung company nila are international companies who would want to give the same benefits whether their employees are working abroad or here in the Philippines. That's why they were pushing for that. So I think we're doing great strides in the healthcare industry. No? So kaya nga nasabi mo, marami rin mga who does pro bono work. PGH, I guess, does that. Love Yourself. And Dr. Hara, Hara of Dr. What's his name? Dino.
Actually,
Dino
sa Love Yourself ako ngayon.
Love Yourself, yes. So,
sorry. Kay Doc, nalimutan ko din yung pangalan niya. Basta dito lang po yun sa show.
Sa show, yes. Sa Mandaluyong, yes. And so, si Love Yourself ang healthcare support.
Ngayon po, opo.
How has it been?
Okay naman po.
Matagal ka na sa kanila?
Medyo matagal na rin po ako sa kanila.
Okay.
Nagkaroon na rin po kami ng episode ni Miss Pia. Tungkol sa transition journey ko din po. Pero that was 2021, I think.
Okay.
Tagal na rin po.
Okay. So, at least, still in that journey.
Opo.
Anuhin natin.
Tsaka, yun nga po, parang it took a lot din para maging advocate. Kasi, the fact na you're out there, kahit alam mo maraming nang babatikos Pero it's parang ang laking tulong din sa community kasi ang dami din naglalakas loob na magpakatotoo.
Kailangan lang may tatayo dyan and marami nang tatayo sa tabi mo, di ba?
Yeah.
So, and I guess being an advocate, a representative of the community, may ano rin yan, may responsibilities din, ano? Kailangan you don't put yourself in a bad light. So
exactly.
So, when it comes to GAT or gender-affirming hormone therapy, ano naman ang maya advice mo sa ating audience with regards to how to properly undergo this treatment?
Always consult lang talaga kasi well, to make it clear, hindi rin lahat ng trans men nagta-transition medically. Yung iba is yun yung prefer nila, hindi na nila na-feel yung need mag-medical transition. Yung iba naman is because of health issues.
Okay.
So, lalo na yung testosterone, it's actually a strong drug.
Correct.
So, maling gamit lang yan, pwede makatrigger ng heart attack or something, mga high blood pressure. So, mas maganda na consult lang talaga sa doctor and blood test. Then, sa mga nagta-transition na, ayan, wag mo rin matigas ang ulo. Mag-check din. Isa na ako dun dati. So, once a year, at least once a year na blood work. Lalo na pag matagal na.
Okay.
I think pag bago, mga every 3 months nagpapacheck.
Kasi they will have to go through monitoring on yung para bang tamang timpla ng hormone na ibibigay sa'yo. And you'll have to do checking of your hormone levels once in a while. Kaya tama yung sinabi mo, Nick, na especially at the first few months, kailangan guided ka muna. And then, pag na-stabilize na naman, I think we can
once a year.
Yeah. And, as mentioned nga, hindi mo kailangan magbayad para makapagpatingin ka sa isang espesyalista.
Yeah.
There are a lot of NGOs and those who do it pro bono just to help our community maintain the right level of your hormones.
Transition safely.
Ayun. Okay. So, anyway, let's go to operation na. Yung top surgery, no? So, I know you haven't had the surgery yet, but I know you've already decided. But what made you decide that top surgery was for you?
I mean, exhausted na rin ako eh. Every day, sumasakit na yung ribs ko, kakabind. Minsan, wala akong choice. Di ba po, dapat advisable is hindi aabot ng 12 hours ang pagbabind or minsan wala ka talagang choice. Then, nafe-feel ko na rin minsan, I think kasi tumatanda na rin ako na medyo hirap ako sa breathing.
Okay. Well, if you're compressing, then that limits your expansion ng lungs. So,
especially when working out, yan.
Mas mahirap yun, ano? Pag nag-workout, you do exert effort and you have to breathe properly.
Yeah, so, mahirap takbo, or buhat, yan. Medyo mahirap na rin. And yun nga po, parang di pa ako fully in touch with myself kasi nga there's something na ina-avoid ko pa rin sa salamin.
Now, with regards to top surgery, maraming techniques na ginagawa natin. Meron tayong peri-areolar, circumareolar, donut, yung double incision. Which one of those that I do is the Ironman. Now, would you remember kung ano yung mga napag-usapan natin nung tayo nagkonsulta? And I assume that I recommended a certain procedure. And for you, ano yung mas tipo mo na procedure na tingin mong bagay sa'yo?
In my case, double incision po talaga kailangan.
Because of yung size?
Size, the skin, na parang extra skin na lang siya eh.
Okay.
Yeah, so parang wala talaga. Like, okay naman ako with the scar. And ayun, as long as gawa nyo. As long as gawa nyo. Kasi yun yung kinoconsider ko talaga. Like, yun nga, almost 9 years na ako on T, pero hindi ako nagmadali sa surgery kasi nga gusto ko is, syempre, makapag topless as much as possible. Kung may scar, talagang maganda, happy ako with it. Magiging comfortable ako enough to change clothes in the men's locker room or kahit pa may scar, okay lang.
No, actually, yun nga, yung decision on what technique to undergo would really depend on your anatomy. And exactly what you mentioned, if you have excess skin, that's one reason for doing it long incision. If you have a large breast, then that's also an issue. And number 3 would be the location of your nipple areolar complex. So, kung malayo siya, mahirap siyang i-position doon. And thus, we'll have to do a double incision or maybe a Ironman.
Kaya po pala may mga nakita din po ko social media. Nakakapag-topless sila before surgery. Maliit lang. Pero nagtaka ako na nag-double incision pa din. I think it's because the nipple, yung pwesto ng nipple po.
Well, surprisingly, not surprisingly, kasi I've had patients na malaki, sa maliit, so I always give them all the options, but I recommend something which would be best for them. Now, even for those who do not have a not so big breast, they still prefer the double incision.
Bakit po?
And the reason being, kasi pag nag-double incision, mas na-form natin yung chest.
Yung pecs, yeah.
O kanya, double incision has the least amount of chance of having to go back to redo the surgery. Now, yung mga donut mastectomy, yun, minsan we'll have to do liposuction.
May revision.
Or we'll have to do some other procedures to do that. Now, kanya, I think that's the reason why ang double incision is still very popular.
Yes.
But right now in my clinic, it's the modification that's 9 out of 10 patients would choose the Ironman top surgery. No?
So, I think sa inyo lang po yun eh.
Kasi tayo lang nagbigay ng pangalan na gano'n. And something that is appreciated by the patients because they have better appearing scars that they can hide, and the idea is really being able to do yung topless outside, and
even just wearing a white shirt or a gray shirt.
Exactly. So kailangan maganda rin yung gawa natin. So that's something that I really go for when I do the surgery. Now, did you ever have fears or hesitations on going or deciding to have surgery?
Hindi naman po. Kasi pinanood ko siya sa YouTube yung process. Pinanood ko talaga siya. And yun nga, pagod na rin ako sa mag-bind. And I've always wanted to do it since pre-pandemic pa ako nag-consult kay Doc. Di lang ako nakabalik agad kasi syempre yan.
Long time coming. Palagay ko panahon na.
So, it's about time.
You were mentioning something about building your body, and is it something that you are preparing for physically?
Yes.
And emotionally, meron din ba?
Emotionally, wala naman. Ako wala naman. Kasi more on excited.
Okay, good. Which is a common response of patients. No? A little scared but more of excited.
Yeah, a little scared lang. First major surgery.
And I won't be surprised kasi major surgery yun is taking out both breasts, but it's more of excitement, they always tell me, no? So doon naman sa mga nag-iisip din na gustong magpa-top surgery, what advice would you give them in preparing for this procedure?
I think yun nga, alaga ng katawan. Kasi may mga test pa po before mag-surgery, di ba? Kung pwede sila makapag-surgery or not. And I think you need to lose fat para less yung lipo.
Not necessary, but it helps, especially for creating the shape. But I've done a lot of patients naman na kahit na big sila, we just adjust. We just leave an equal amount of fat tissues under the skin para kailangan diretso rin siya. Kasi mangyayari, pag tinanggal ko lahat ng fat, lulubog naman dito nakaangat. So,
may nakita rin po akong case na parang nahirapan siya tuloy mag-grow ng chest niya. Kasi masyado atang flat yung pagkakagawa ng...
That's the problem. So, ayun. Actually, minsan nag-iiwan pa ako ng more fat just to create that muscular chest. So, isa pa yun sa mga bagay na ginagawa
ayun natin. Lang naman ma-advise ko is to build yung pectoral muscles para Masaya din mga surgeon mahanap kung yung pwesto nung nipple, nung...
Yun ang challenge talaga.
Opo.
But anyway, pagka natapos na ang iyong surgery, anong unang gagawin mo? Pagka healed na lahat, ano bang...
Magsuot ako ng dry fit.
Yun.
White dry fit. Yeah, white shirt, lahat. Kasi mas bagay daw talaga sa akin white. Kaso yun nga, naiilang ako mag-white. Pag naka-white ako, ngayon pa nga lang, medyo naka-hunch na ako eh. Ayun, ayusin ko yung posture ko din.
Yeah, posture is a common problem.
Medyo rin sa akin yung posture kasi yun nga, parang fitness coach ako pero medyo naka-hunch yung back ko. It's because of, I'm trying to hide my chest.
And that's something that's very common among trans men, ang kanilang posture parating ganito.
Yeah.
So, anyway, going through difficult times in your transition, I think pang pelikula ata yung buhay mo kasi imagine from living in a Middle East country, joining beauty pageants, and then eventually joining That's My Tomboy.
Dami nangyari.
Medyo matinding transition ang nangyari sa'yo. So, what is the biggest lesson that you learned in your transition?
I think biggest lesson, I don't know, just be a good person.
Be yourself?
Be yourself, be a good person. Lahat naman tayo, hindi natin alam kung ano yung pinagdadaanan ng tao. And yun nga, parang ano lang talaga, be kind. Okay. Tapos, yung pinaka talaga is live authentically. Kasi, I mean, paano ba ma-explain?
Kasi parang sa'yo, you tried to be on the other side.
Yeah.
You joined beauty
tried.
pageants. But eventually, the truth came out. And the reality of the thing that you are really male in gender identity. So, eventually, it's going to come out, right?
Yeah.
No?
Tsaka ang dami ko po natutunan sa Soji because of Soji. Yeah,
okay.
Kasi ang laking factor din talaga ng Soji. That's why, kahit po sa work before, sa gym ako, I always tell them na pag may hindi kayo alam kung anong pronouns, tanungin nyo lang kung anong pronouns. It's simple question pero ang laking bagay na mafe-feel ng tao na safe dito kasi maingat sila pagdating sa pronouns. It's one simple question pero malaking change, malaking bagay.
Big thing for someone who's being asked that question.
Yeah.
At least kino-consider ka.
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Maganda. Simple, but very important. And I guess, doon sa mga baguhan, or for those who are just starting to realize their position in life, so to speak, anong advice mo sa isang tao na who's just starting his journey? Ano bang magandang way to start and
don't compare your journey kasi I did that nung first few years konti kasi nga nakita ko sa iba ang bilis ng hair nila, ang bilis ng changes nila, pero yung sa akin parang siguro kumapal na lang tong mga bigote ko mga 5 years na onti. Yung iba mga 2 years pa lang, pero yun sabi ko nga ngayon ina-advocate ko na hindi linear yung transition, iba-iba talaga yan, iba-ibang katawan, iba-ibang tao, iba-ibang storya. So yun, never compare yourself din sa ibang tao. Tapos wag kung kilala mo yung sarili mo, that's enough.
That's true.
Like I may not have the full beard, medyo malaki yung hips ko, pero for me, I know that I'm man enough.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's more of what you feel inside, right?
Yeah.
And kaya nga tinawag yan na transition, di ba? So, different people have different journeys or transitions.
Different preferences din po.
Do not compare yourself to others. No?
Yeah.
So, meron bang mga common misconceptions about trans men or about surgery na would you remember? Like, well, I guess you mentioned yung sa trans men, they're being labeled also as lesbians, right?
Po. Medyo madalas po is ganun. Kasi lalo na sa Facebook, pag may nakikita sila. Actually, lumabas din ako sa Itbulaga.
Hindi ka lang kapamilya, kapuso ka pa.
So, nung lumabas ako, I think kakatapos lang ng pandemic kasi may COVID test pa nun. Yung may segment sila na bawal judgmental. Well, so halos lahat naman po kami doon trans.
Okay.
Trans men. Yung iba hindi nagta-transition medically. So may mga questions ganun. Tapos na-share ko din doon na sumali ako ng beauty pageant. So medyo nagkaroon ng article about it. So nakikita ko yung mga comments. Pero yun, nung nakita ko yung comments, parang okay lang. The fact na ang dami ko na na-receive na ganito sa buong buhay ko, I still show up.
And I think it's more of knowing yourself.
Yeah.
If you know that you're this, and regardless of what they say in the social media.
Tsaka support system. Ito talaga, laking bagay.
Sino bang biggest support system mo?
I think mga friends po talaga. Pero ngayon kasi parang madalas medyo nagsosolo ako. So more on...
Wala ka pang partner ngayon?
Wala na.
Okay. So, single and ready to mingle si Nick. Okay.
Hindi pa.
Hindi pa ready.
Papayaman mo na ako.
Hindi pa ready, pero single po nga so
single
far.
lang.
Okay, good.
Kasi yung parents ko po sa abroad. Pero yun, I think more on more on self talaga.
Self-love.
Self-love.
You take care of yourself.
Tsaka kay God. To pray. Prayers pa rin.
Good.
Mag-attend ako ng church or not. Lagi pa rin akong pray.
That's good.
Pa-practice ako ng gratitude every day. Pagising.
Okay. Thankful for this life. No?
Yeah.
And I guess it's being thankful that we now live in a world that there's a social acceptance of the community. No? So,
tsaka kung ipapanganak, lagi ko sinasabi na if papanganak ako ulit, if I would be given the chance na maging cis-male ako.
Would you change?
No.
You start as the same thing and transition to the other. Hindi mo pagpapalit.
Hindi ko ipagpapalit yung journey ko.
Okay. So, anyway, if there is one message that you'd like to share to people watching our podcast, ano bang message ni Nick? Marami nang dinaanan sa buhay.
Like ko naman po sinasabi na yun nga, as long as walang tinatapakang tao, maging totoo lang sa sarili. And yun nga, if they're having a hard time, lahat naman nasa internet na. Lahat na, marami ng clinics, marami na pwede mag-consult. And if yun yung pinakaano, kasi yung iba nag-struggle pa rin sila sa support system. So the fact na meron ng healthcare, na may mga pwede na mag-consult, ayan, may malalapitan na sila.
Not so hard. Not so hard to
find na ngayon.
Get support.
Yeah, get support. Tapos nasa social media na rin po lahat ngayon. Dami na pong out eh.
Yun na nga. And even their journeys, they post it online.
Sila ba may podcast? Merong Spill the Tea. So, tapos kami, fitness coach.
How do you share, being an advocate, how do you serve the community?
Ako personally ginagawa ko, I think it works din, mas nag-work din na I just share my story. Mas nagiging vulnerable ako, hindi ako nahihiya magiging vulnerable.
And I think being open to your journey would just give ideas to the community that, hey, I'm not alone in this journey, and I can always ask someone to help me out if ever there's a need na kailangan ng suporta sa aking journey. No? So,
tsaka I strongly talaga na wag sila masyadong maano sa pagiging vulnerable. It's not a sign of being feminine. It's just being human.
Yes. Human. We're only human. Di ba?
Kasi masyado sila na parang bakit masyadong sensitive, ganun. Magkaiba naman yung sensitive and vulnerability. So, I think it's a strength showing vulnerability. Lalo na ngayon sa panahon ngayon.
Yun nga ang tatanong ko sana sa iyo. Looking back, what are you most proud of in your journey?
Hirap niyan eh. parang ano pa nga ako, Dok, medyo ano pa nga ako ngayon hindi ko pa nga alam eh.
Tanong, ika nga.
As a 31 years
Kasi,
old.
I mean, as a trans man, you've accomplished too much, a lot already. And
I think,
you have served the community. You are an advocate. You represent them in a lot of ways.
Thank you, Dok. Minsan di ako aware.
Ay, well.
Masyado lang akong low-key.
Sa dami ng fans mo, I guess.
Ay, hindi naman.
Maraming sumusunod at inaabangan ka lang. So sa wakas, magpaplano na tayo ng iyong surgery and finally matutuloy na. Alam mo si Nick, pre-pandemic pa kami nag-konsulta nito eh. At siguro
payat pa nga ako nun, Dok.
Payat pa? Oo. Ako payat, hindi ako payat nun. Pero nagpapapayat. But anyway, finally, mas-schedule na natin yung surgery mo. How are you feeling?
Excited talaga ako, Doc. Kasi I mean, ang dami ko na rin, after ng consultation natin, syempre nag-try pa rin ako mag-canvas ng iba. Pero sa inyo pa rin talaga nag-ano yung puso ko eh. Andun pa rin kay Doc Jorge pa rin. Kahit pag may mga tatanong hindi ako nambobola, pero lagi pag may nagtatanong sa akin kung saan pwede mag-surgery, ganito, lagi ko sinasabi na consider nyo sa cosmetics, kay Dr. Threadlift kasi yung username ni Doc sa
marami
sa
tayong
IG.
pangalan sa ano eh. And thank you Nick. Gusto ko sana itanong sa iyo, ano ba yung mga pambobolang sinabi ko? Para pumayag ka at
Hindi, nasa gawa lang talaga ni Doc kasi nakita ko yung resulta sa mga kaibigan ko. It speaks more than results speaks louder. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's enough na yon to prove na si Doc talaga yung choice ko before pa lang.
So anyway, with that, thank you very much, Nick, for opening up and sharing with us this important part of your journey. And of course, this will definitely resonate with the others who might be walking in a similar path. Now, for those listening, know that every transition is unique and that it's okay to take things one step at a time.
Yes.
Now, support, like we said, is out there, and you never have to go through this alone.
Yes.
So, this has been Transform. Join us next time as we continue to share more stories, more truth, and more voices from our community. Again, maraming salamat, Nick, for everything and sharing with us. Matalinghagang buhay at we're so happy and proud of you.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you.